Hi, I'm Lily from the Cardiff and South East Wales JLD, and today we're going to be asking some people in the Cardiff legal community what it means to them for Black History Month.
Hello, my name is Margaret and I am on the JLD committee as a pro bono rep and in-house rep. I'm also an in-house solicitor at a local government.
Hi Margaret, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So my first question for you is this year's theme for Black History Month was actions, not words. What does that mean to you?
I think it's expressing a level of tiredness or exhaustion that this has been a topic of discussion for a very long time and nothing appears to be changing, or if it is changing, it's very small, very piecemeal, and it's not at all together. So some places are doing better than others, so it's all dependent on your postcode, on where you live, how you grew, which environment you were in, etc. And I think now it's kind of emphasizing the fact that we do actually need to take action. We need to make changes, real changes, not just continue having the same conversation over and over again when it's trending or fashionable this week.
Right, I've had a couple conversations with people, the trending and just kind of this, we have a D&I course, so it's there. What would you say is the best way to ensure change and for it not to just be a quick trend or something that HR can say, we have diversity and inclusivity, sorry if I can get that word out. What makes it something that's going to be long-lasting change to you?
I think it's got to be embedded in the culture. So I think it's one of those things that every single person needs to take personal responsibility for it, rather than a specific community taking responsibility for it and then trying to drive and bring everyone else along with the progress. So I do think it needs to be a cultural element where everyone takes an opportunity to either self-reflect, educate themselves, understand why they might have said something that could have come across offensive, but they didn't realise it was offensive, it's not what they meant, etc. And just things like that. And I think a lot of that comes with individual people taking individual responsibility, doing the work and the action for themselves, and then in the end it'll all become part of our culture.
Yeah,
it'll feel normal.
It's almost like part of a social contract.
Exactly.
We're all together, we kind of have to understand each other for it to work or to progress.
Yeah.
So I'm going to skip the second question. I'm actually going to go because it just follows so much better. The recent former president of the Law Society of England and Wales, Stephanie Boyce, said Black people often experience racism and discrimination. Then they are expected to fix it. This must change. A third of Black, African, and Caribbean solicitors say they have experienced some form of discrimination or bullying in the workplace, the highest figure reported by any ethnic group. Is that surprising to you?
It's not surprising, no.
Have you ever seen or experienced it yourself?
I've never personally experienced it. I've been quite fortunate in my career, to be fair. I haven't experienced it directly, but I do know people who have experienced it. The difficulty is they couldn't say it was because I am this, that's why I didn't get it. They were given lots of different reasons. So the example I'm thinking of specifically was someone who wanted to go on a sabbatical to do some further studies. There isn't any real policy about why a sabbatical will be accepted or denied.
Right.
And they felt someone else got a sabbatical to go on a 1-year honeymoon. I can't get a sabbatical to further my education and progress my legal career. The only difference between them was the colour of their skin. So they deduced that it may have been discriminatory, but it wasn't super obvious. They didn't get a reason that said you didn't get it because of X, Y, Z kind of thing.
And I guess it's kind of a trapped situation, because if you're not given that reason, you're kind of stuck in a position where there's not enough resources even really to go about it. Like I've discussed with someone else, and even HR sometimes will tell them that you have to change your hair, you have to change that. So what do you think would be the best way to prevent that from happening? More education, or what would you think would stop that from happening?
I do think education will definitely help, and it brings me back to the point that it is going to be down to individual personal responsibility. So making sure we have a culture where people are given the opportunity to reflect on their own behaviours, reflect on their own biases, and then challenge themselves to be better people, and therefore to have a better legal community for everyone.
Right, and would that be the advice that you give to others in the legal field to help better support the BAME community? Like people like myself, my colleagues, my friends, other students, how would I better help them and support them?
Yeah, I'm going to be a bit cliche and quote Michael Jackson, start with the man in the mirror.
I love that.
So So I do think it is really about, in terms of if that's an ambition you have, which I think is an ambition everyone should have, to be a better person for your own colleagues, your friends, your community, etc. Look at yourself in the mirror, reflect on your own biases, read some books, you know, kind of engage with wider people of the community from different backgrounds, those who you're not familiar with, those you are familiar with, etc., and just to educate yourself, and that will help. That will go a long way.
I think that's really good advice. And so these are some more personal questions for you. Who is your biggest inspiration and why?
My biggest inspiration? I think my grandmother's probably my biggest inspiration.
Aww.
I'm her first granddaughter. I'm actually named after her as well.
Oh, that's so sweet.
But she's my biggest hype queen. So she's yeah, definitely my biggest inspiration, because she's always been a housewife, but she worked very hard for her family. She's like the pillar of the family. It's a very matriarchal home.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's a very strong woman, and she's the one who basically taught me, be fearless. There is no glass ceiling for you. You can do whatever you want, go wherever you want, don't be afraid. So even if it's an environment where there's no one who looks like you should be comfortable in the room, because you are a confident person and you deserve and have a right to be there. So and she's the one who taught me that.
I love that. I actually do love that. Like, we've had so many people talk about their moms and their dads. It's like really heartwarming. It's like such inspiration. And what are your own personal goals and ambitions in your legal career? Where would you like to see yourself go?
Well, I've been a solicitor for a while now. I'm 3 years PQE now, and I'm still at this stage where I'm trying to decide whether I want to rise up in the industry that I'm in, so whether I want a promotion to go senior and onwards, or if I maybe want to take a bit of a different direction and go into the judiciary. So I'm still a little bit on the fence on which one I actually want to do.
Okay,
so
that's interesting.
Yeah,
the judiciary. I didn't know you were considering that, but that's really cool.
So yeah, so I think I'm at this stage where I'm kind of like weighing my options on what kind of lifestyle I would like long term, etc.
Yeah.
So see where it goes. But
No.
yeah, I haven't committed to anything yet.
You have plenty of time to commit there. Thank you so much for all your questions and your responses. I really appreciate it.